Another day. Welcome to another India Talk, reporting live from the park. We're at a different park today. We're out in Wilbraham, and I really will not be on here long because I have so much to do today. And this park is just way too busy. There's a beach here. My daughter, with her eloping and just running off, I can't really give you my full attention today, but I could give you a little view. So there's open water right here, and then there's a beach here. They got a splash pad on the back on the side. And it's a lot going on, but usually I've been to this park several times with my daughter. So usually she pretty much stays on the playground area. All right, hold on. But how are you? How's your day today? Okay, I see your little feet. How's your day today? The weather here is nice. It's like almost 80, not too humid, not too sticky. And I was looking at my journal entries, and I did not journal on 8/6 for whatever reason. I don't know. And trying to reflect with you in my head, I'm pretty sure I talked to the doctor because, like I said, I had finally started seeing my doctor. So I'm sure I had a doctor session. And so I could just reflect real quick and answer any questions. But yeah, I was looking through my journal and I'm like, that guy didn't journal anything today. Good things that I do have to report is one, my daughter lost her first tooth last night. I'm so excited and sad at the same time because my baby's growing up, and I was looking for ways to do alternatives to the tooth fairy for children with autism. So I found like a couple of good ideas, and where we're at today, they're doing a farmer's market. So I'm gonna get a plant from a lady, and we're gonna plant the tooth. And instead of doing the traditional under the bed, I'm also still doing money. I have my own daughter's, her own separate account. And some other ways is take a picture and make like a scrapbook photo album of each time of losing the tooth. So I'm going to do a couple of different ways to celebrate your milestone. I was like sad about it. Let's say hi. Hi, Mayawa. Hi. Hi, Roberto. Oi, amor. ¿Cómo estás? Aussie, hi. Aussie, do you want my car? What do you have? Let me know. I'm always taking offerings. But what kind of car is it? Love you, peace and prosperity to you. Thank you, LaShawn. Thank you so much. I need to get closer. So I was gonna reflect with you guys really quick today, not long. Like I said, I didn't do a journal entry, so I did want to, oh dear. I did want to just reflect about some shit about the doctors. Why are you so cute? Gorvandin. I think that's how you say your name. I don't know. But thank you for the compliments. Kobe. Hey, no thank you. Stay on the park side. You're not going over there to the beach. We're not going to the beach part today. Crafted says hi. My mother. What do you mean my mother? Why is your mother responsive if I want your car or not? Savvy, hi. Crafted, hi. Hi. Welcome. Thanks for joining. So yeah, I didn't have a journal entry to read out to you guys today. I was gonna just read to you, Mal, like if you've never been locked up in a hospital before, I was gonna share what you have to do for treatment in order to be let out or considered participating. I also do have a journal entry from yesterday that I didn't read. It's really lengthy though, and I don't have the isolated time to just read it out, but maybe I'll come back and do a reading, because I do owe you guys a reading from my last Facebook post of me like pouring my heart out to this man who said nothing about it. And then I could read that journal entry. That entry from yesterday that I forgot to read was about the kids. So at the hospital there was kids on the top floor, and every freaking morning I could hear them running and screaming for their lives, yo. I hated it. It was very traumatizing. And it's something I used to talk to the doctor about. Bacon and eggs, cool cat king. Okay. I don't eat bacon or eggs, but all right. Hi, Savvy. Can you show me? Oh, I don't know what that means. Say my name properly. I will subscribe. You sure? Okay. Go Vardhan. Go Vardhan? I hope. What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone? You can't hear the, okay. I don't know what y'all are talking about, but so I was just gonna read with you. My love, no thank you. No thank you. So if you've never been locked up in a hospital, there's a bunch of stupid shit you have to do for treatment in order to be let out or considered participating. Hey, no, stay on the playground part. Hey. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, I got it right. If I take my time, I've taught myself other languages, so thumbs up for me. I got it right. It's very hard for me to, but this is the only time I'll be able to get on today, so screw it. Let's do it. So since I don't have a journal entry, I'll just talk a little bit about what I talked to the doctor about and tell you what you have to do for treatment. So in treatment, if you're ever locked up in a behavioral hospital, aka a psych ward, here's the things. You have to do 9 things in order to be considered participating in treatment and in order to be let out of the hospital. And I wrote this on 8/12, but it's just something that I wrote. So you have to go to groups, and there's like 6 groups a day you have to go to. And in the groups, you will either be coloring, painting, drawing, or reading and talking about different therapeutic approaches. You'll be talking about your emotions. Oh my gosh. Whatever side of the park I come to, my daughter goes to the opposite. Hey, stay over here with mama. Come back this way. You cannot be over there. They're having a private party over there. There's a lot going on over here today. Stay on this side at the playground, my love. Yeah, play on the playground part. There's too much going on here. Okay. You have to talk about your emotions a lot, which I think is ironic because this man locks me away from saying I'm having an emotional breakdown and I'm too tapped into my emotions, got me diagnosed with bipolar, which is all about emotions. And then they tell you not to talk about your emotions when I went to therapy, right? When I got out post therapy, don't focus and talk about your emotions. But all I did every day when I started participating in treatment was have to talk about my emotions and understand emotions. So it is a psychological fuck on your brain, yo, of like, what is this cycle that they put you through? So that's pretty much the groups: color, paint, draw. You got to listen to music. You could request music. That was supposed to be therapeutic. There was one group that I did enjoy where I got to do yoga and I got to paint my nails. And there was a lady that used to teach the emotion groups, and I really liked her. She was really nice and her vibe was dope. And so I did learn a lot of different things about surface-based emotions, deeply embedded emotions, and just like all the tiers of different emotions that people don't teach you. I feel like people should teach that shit. And maybe I will hold a class and teach people, because I had learned a lot of stuff. But then, like I said, it was weird to get out and have to go to therapy where they told me I shouldn't be emotional and tapped into my emotions. And I'm not listening to these people are crazy. Being intuitive is what saved my life, and being tapped into my emotions and be able to read people's energy, that should change my life and saves me from a lot of shit. So I thought, it's weird. I think people who are not tapped into their emotions and can't be empathetic and sympathetic for other people are strange, and they need to be locked the fuck up. Anyways, also you had to eat. So when I wasn't eating, they told me I wasn't participating. So you had to go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can't deny any eating times. You have to be seen eating. You have to keep yourself hydrated. So you have to be drinking and getting snacks and eating a whole bunch of shit, eating and drinking things that keep you constipated. You have to sleep. If they don't see you sleeping or keeping a record that you're sleeping properly, they will document it against you and say you're not participating in treatment. You have to socialize. You can't be locked in your room all day, isolating yourself. You have to come out into the common areas and talk to people. Listen, I use this shit to my advantage. Once I understood that I have to be in here and decode why this man put me here, socializing literally changed my entire experience there. And the people loved me there. They did not want me to leave. And I was working that shit, yo. So I'll save that for another day. And then, like I said, you have to just participate in all the, oh my gosh, in all the, my daughter is running away. I'm telling you guys, like, I try to show up and do these things for y'all. Really for me, because they're my own therapy session. But trying to do this one with my daughter wherever we are is difficult, because she's gonna elope, especially if we're here at this park. It's open, so much going on. There, I closed the notebook. You have to participate. And then the final thing you have to do, which is what I refused to do for several weeks until I couldn't refuse it anymore, is take the medication. So I was telling them, I was talking to my damn doctor, and I was like, well, now I'm participating. I'm going to groups. I'm eating. I'm socializing. I'm not staying in my room. Get me the hell out of here, man. I need to get home to my daughter. And then they were like, you have to take that medication. And I was like, I'm not taking it. It's my right to refuse that shit, man. And I remember a few different staff was like, India, just take the medication. And I'm like, no, I wasn't taking medication before this man. And I'm not understanding why it is being pressed and I'm being forced to take medication. And why they're telling me, like, you're not going to be let out of here. They told me verbatim that I was not going to be let out of there because my husband, until I agree to be on the medication, my husband really wants me on that medication. And until I agree to take it there and then have a prescription for home, that is the only way they were going to let me out. And then I remember staff was like, India, just take it. It doesn't matter. Like, nobody gets out of here without taking that medication. And I was like, you never met nobody like me. I'm getting out of here without taking that fucking medication. And I have a right to deny that shit every day until I can't deny it anymore. And so that's what happened. So I did everything, and then like another week went by, and I was like, fuck, I'm really not gonna get out of here. I gotta get home to my kid. And I went back and forth to the doctor every day about not taking that fucking medication, yo. All right, let me check in with you guys for a couple minutes. If you have any questions. Where am I from? I'm from I'm from Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts, 2 hours away from Boston. Hi Malik, thanks for joining. I don't know what your avatar means. I guess you're not real, you're AI. What are you talking about? Hi Savvy, you are a beautiful African queen. Thank you, Fortunate. I like your name. Start dancing, that helps out with swim. What do you mean, OG Jamal? Hi Ashley, how are you? When you seen an African with dreadlocks, I'm indigenous and African, so I guess, and I don't refer to my hair as dreadlocks, they're just locks. Hello, beautiful queen. Heidi, nice, thank you for joining. Malt, what's up with your name? Snacks, what does that mean? Hi, auntie. Who the hell is that? Viddy? I am an auntie, but you better not be one of my nephews. Hi. You are beautiful. Oh, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. I don't like the summertime. We're the opposites. I love the summertime. What sneakers if you remove that? All right, I'm not playing these stupid riddle games. I don't play games. Do you believe you are ill? Says L. Who is this? Yo. My ex's name starts with that letter. So I don't know if I should respond to that, but I will. I do not believe that I am mentally ill. And no, I don't believe that I have a mental illness. Now, here's my thing. I don't disagree with the diagnosis of bipolar. Now, when they were telling me this, when they were telling me this at the hospital, I was laughing because I was like, literally, this man sat next to me and said, I want her diagnosed with bipolar. So I was just like, give me the damn diagnosis then. Like, I don't even understand what this is. And like, I really felt at the time that him and his mom wanted to try to get me diagnosed because at that point in time, they were pressuring me to get my daughter diagnosed. And I was very adamant of like, I'm not going to do something just because you're telling me to do it. And on top of that, I was doing my research and trying to find the right doctor to go through the process with. So I wasn't just taking anybody's advice or having them rush me. I do not like to be rushed. I like to take my time and educate myself and research shit, especially. And then also, I'm like, you're not giving my daughter time to develop. So this has been going on since I had her. They've been on my case. So that's where my love, stay this way. I felt like, oh, you're trying to get me because you can't get to my daughter type of thing. And then when he said that in front of me, I was just like, oh, this is orchestrated and this is planned. So I don't know what's going on here, but let me just go along with it. Give me the fucking diagnosis. Like, this shit is dumb. That doesn't mean anything. Then when I was locked up in the behavioral hospital, and every day I had to talk to the doctor and the social worker, and they're like, you need to admit to yourself that you're bipolar and that you're mentally ill and you have a condition. And I was like, no, I don't. I'm not subscribing to this bullshit that you're trying to tell me. And then on top of that, I have 17 years of working in the medical field. And so when I used to work in psych wards and locked facilities and rehabs and stuff like that, in the medical field, bipolar is overlooked and overshadowed, and it's paired with schizophrenia. So I was like, oh my gosh. All right. I gotta be all over the place with my daughter. You gonna get in there, baby? So I was like, I'm not fucking bipolar, because in the medical field, bipolar is paired with schizophrenia, and schizophrenia is all about having different multiple personalities, hallucinations, and and hearing voices. And I was like, none of that describes me. I don't hallucinate. I don't hear voices. I don't think I have multiple personalities. And they never explained anything to me in there. And so I was just going off of my knowledge from working in psych wards, and how bipolar was always overshadowed, and it was always like, oh, bipolar is the cousin of schizophrenia, and schizophrenia was always the highlight. And so they never broke nothing down to me in the psych ward. or the behavioral hospital, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It wasn't until I did therapy where my therapist took the time to explain, and she was like, no, that's not what bipolar is. You're talking about schizophrenia. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, then what is bipolar? And then she's like, bipolar is that you struggle with your emotions, that you get into an emotion and you stay in that emotion longer than the average person. And so if you're really happy, you can have moods of being manic where you're happy longer than the average person. And then if you get in emotions that are sad or low, you stay in those low states longer than the average person. And she's like, does that sound familiar? Does that sound like something you deal with or struggle with? And then when we were talking about my family issues and just like things that people do to me and how people trigger me and provoke me and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, then I've been dealing with that my whole life. But I'm like, I still don't consider it to be a mental illness. What this going through therapy is teaching me is that I have been surrounded by people who put me in these states where I am sad, depressed, or I am too happy, manic, and I don't need to be around people who do that to me, because when I get myself in these emotional states, I just isolate myself. And then she was saying that that's not healthy. And I was like, well, would you rather me be out here spazzing on people, hitting people, and being violent and stuff? Like, that's not even how I am as a person. But when I do have emotional highs and lows, I tend to stay to myself. So I said all that to say I don't have an issue with having a diagnosis of bipolar. And on top of that, the diagnosis is an unofficial diagnosis. They could not my love, please pick a side to stay on. They could not give me an official diagnosis. Like, they couldn't diagnose me with bipolar 1 or 2. They couldn't categorize me. So on paper, it is an unofficial, hey. You're not going with those kids, baby. They're at camp. This is too much. Please, I want you to stay on the playground. You're not going in that part. No. Oh my gosh, she's too busy. My love, play on the playground or we're leaving. No, you're not going there. That's camp kids. So I have a diagnosis, but it's unofficial. And I don't even have a problem with being diagnosed with bipolar. My problem is that man. That's my problem. If I quote unquote am sick, mentally ill, or have like these challenges that he tried to create, why would you start treating me worse? Why would you start treating me worse? Where was the consideration? Where was the love? Where was the I'm concerned and I want to help you if to the level and the degree that he was trying to make it out to be? So no, I don't even accept that. I don't accept any of it, but I'll get on here and tell you about it and elaborate and answer some questions for you. But I don't walk around, and even when I got out, that all of a sudden became how he introduced people to me. He was just like, oh, this is, she's bipolar. Like, all of a sudden, the name my mother gave me didn't matter. The mother of his child doesn't matter. The woman that built businesses, like, none of those things matter. All of a sudden, it just became about introducing and telling everybody that would fucking listen that, oh, she's bipolar and she's crazy and she needs to take medication to function. When I've never needed to take medication ever in my fucking life, y'all. So it's a whole fuck shit. But so I'll talk to people about it. I've educated myself about it, and I've understood my emotional lows and highs that I've dealt with my entire life. Big whoop. I don't attack people, or I don't be mean to people or nothing. When I understand, especially when my moods are low, and I feel like everybody deals with this. Everybody is moody and emotional. That's what bipolar is. Whatever. No. So let me tap in. Hi, Playboy. I'm not responding. Okay, we have a kangaroo in the chat. Oh, so you are a kangaroo. Hi, Playboy. Hi, JR. Ooh, a butterfly. Junior Garza. What kind of flag is this? You like my lips? Okay, thank you. Thank you for the compliments. I am not married. Never been married. But somebody that I spent 11 years with and birthed businesses and babies for walked me into a hospital one day, July 26, 2024, and told the people in there that he was my husband and that he's my advocate and I can't speak for myself, and that he wanted me diagnosed with bipolar, and that he wanted me admitted and kept at the hospital. And the more that I shouted and said that he's not my fucking husband and he doesn't have a right to do this and he's not my fucking advocate, the more it just played into like whatever he was, the narrative that he was creating. So I didn't know any of this at the time. I just reacted, and he knew that I would react and that he could provoke me. But nope, never been married, never had a husband. Her husband is a CEO. Who is this? My husband ain't no CEO of nothing. Anything that we created, I was the CEO because my name is on everything. What type of dress are you wearing now? I'm not wearing a dress. I'm wearing a romper. I don't have an address today. The kangaroo, I'm not responding to your comments, kangaroo. Kangaroo Oso. Chameleon, your message is retracted. Bradley James says you are not mentally ill, you're just hungry. For sure, I'm starving. I didn't eat nothing today. I'm on fluids. I'm on a liquid diet until I get some food. But I am hungry. I don't know what to eat. They told me I was bipolar. Yeah, people want to try to label you, yo. And that's always my message, is don't let people label you, because those who want to label you want you to live in lack. They don't want you to live in your purpose. They see your star shine, your star power, and they see that you have a calling. You are a chosen one. So they will try to label you so that you live by that label. Just like how I said that, man tried to, now all of a sudden, I'm no longer India. I'm no longer a human. I'm no longer a woman. I'm no longer a mom. I'm no longer a business owner. I'm just a bipolar, brown bear, black bear, polar bear. So don't even subscribe to it. I mean, if you want to educate people, I feel like everybody's fucking bipolar. I feel like everybody's autistic. Everybody's on some part of the spectrum. Everybody has their own issues. Everybody deals with their own struggles and their own things that they don't fucking talk about, and they want to get on the internet or be in real life and act like they're so perfect and hide their shit. And most people like that, man, they suppress whatever they're dealing with alcohol and drugs and sex and all other types of addictions. And so here I am, fully sober since 2013. What are you talking about, guy? I read books, I drink water, and I build businesses, and I birth shit, and I manifest shit. And you sitting over here struggling, I never judged his struggle. He doesn't talk about shit. He suppresses everything, gets high every day. And there's lots of people that do that shit. They can't deal with their emotions. They don't want to deal with their demons. They don't want to unpack shit. They don't want to process shit, so they suppress it, and every day they have to get high or get drunk or bust a couple nuts before they can go and interact with people. I don't have those issues or that problem, so give me whatever label you want. I'm not subscribing to it, but I will educate myself so that I can educate others. Greetings from Uganda, African sister. Jesus Image Church, Africa. Greetings. Schizophrenia has nothing to do with multiple personalities. The symptoms are hallucinations and delusions, which could be auditory or visual or just thoughts. It's a scary word, but only because of the stigma. Well, I do agree with you there, but a lot of people, when I worked in the psych wards, there was a lot of people that would wake up and they just like, kind of like the world we live in today, where people can choose to be a boy or a girl or a cat or a dog A lot of people with no, no, thank you. You're not getting in that water, baby. We cannot go over there. That's for camp kids. A lot of people, when I worked in the psych wards that did have schizophrenia, they did deal with the auditory and visual hallucinations, but they also would be like, I'm Mike today, and I'm Lear. Hey, all right, come on. I can't, baby. We cannot get in the water. If you're all done at the park, then let's go. So I gotta walk to the store anyways, and I gotta get to the farmer's market right here. Come, let's go. Pick up your chocolate milk. They would wake up and they would dress up and be like, there's such and such today. So there are some people with schizophrenia that deal with thinking they're multiple people, and they go by all these different personas. Get in. We're not getting in that water today. 1 second. We'll come back, okay, on another day, and we'll go to the beach part, okay? Just not today. We're just coming to the playground. Do you want your veggie straws in a juice box? Okay, you can have your veggie straws and a juice box. Apple juice or lemonade? Apple juice? Okay. You want to put your shoes back on? Alright, give me your chocolate milk. Alright, so hope that answered your question about the schizophrenia, or yours. I was just responding to you, but I think that any diagnosis probably sounds scary to the average person. I'm not scared of nobody's diagnosis or labels. Fuck them, because the people that's giving you the diagnosis and the labels have their own shit that they struggle with every single day. And I'll prove it. Give me 1 second. I will prove it. The doctor, the psychiatrist that I had at Westboro, the black lady with locks just like me, who told me that I need to be on medication and like, oh, just give it a try. One day I was talking with her, and she proceeded to tell me how I was like, you're trying to get me to take meds. I don't take fucking meds, yo. Are you strapped in? You got your veggie straws? Okay. I'm like, I don't take meds. I take vitamins. I'm going to tell you this every day that you come to talk to me. And she was like, I think that you should really take the medication. She was like, I take it. And I was like, what? I shouldn't be surprised, because when I was working in nursing, all the nurses steal patients' meds to take the meds and use them for their own benefit. So I shouldn't be surprised that the doctor is taking. So I'm like, you're trying to tell me you're taking the same meds that you're prescribing people? And her exact response was, you want me to get up out of bed and come do my job every day, right? I was like, you need to get out this field. If you have to take the same meds that you're in here prescribing people because you can't deal with your own shit, and you have to take some meds to come in here to deal with the people that you deal with, that's why I left the medical field. Because you come in here trying to help people, and then you end up with the same issues, or you already have the same issues, and they just get amplified from working in locked facilities and working around sickness and death and all types of health issues. You start to fucking channel that shit in your own life. So I was like, well, that's good for you. If the meds are working for you, good for you, doc. I think you should change careers if you got to take medication and come do your fucking job, yo. And she was like, they help me. And so that's why I'm telling you that they don't help you. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm so good with that. All right, let's check in. Bradley, just be yourself, fuck the rest. Amen to you. I would like to collaborate with you in my church ministry, sister. Oh, I would love that, because you know what? One, I'm looking to collaborate with people, and I'm very much looking for church to get into. There's a church where I'm staying at right now that I want to go to, and I just haven't been able to get there. So I always have my daughter. I did go there one day, but everybody was looking at me because my daughter was making noises and all types of stuff, and it was a small little place. So I was like, oh crap, let me get out of here. But I would love to collaborate with you as well. And also, I like speaking and talking and teaching and educating. So send me a message. Send me a private message and let's connect. No, husbands could be the problem. Tell me about it. And I don't have a husband. I was just with him for 11 years. And then that's the other thing he tried to claim. He tried to be like, we are married because we've been together for 11 years. It's called common law. And I really thought that common law was recognized here in Massachusetts. And then when I got out of the hospital, I did my own research. I'm going to stop listening to this Negro because he just tells me stuff and I just believe whatever he says. Him and that damn gift of gab. I looked it up. Common law is not even recognized here in Massachusetts. So I was like, oh, more fucking mind games, yo. But he wasn't my husband. Just dated him for a long time. And we were friends for 10 years before we started dating. So I just thought this was the ideal person. I was so caught up in the businesses we were creating and the success we were having. And then I had a baby with him and I was like, wow, met a totally different person. Where is the KFC? We have another kangaroo. Chats. Put some kangaroo emojis for Chase. Kangaroo Chase is here. What's your name? Lily. Hi, Lily. Do you have any childhood trauma? A fuck ton of it. Just like anybody else. And you know what? I already been working on my trauma well before this. And the interesting thing is I was just trying to put my own self in therapy when I was just going to school for my bachelor's degree. And it didn't work out. And sometimes the thing that you want, you don't get it in the way that you think you're going to receive it. But you do get what you ask for. So I've been working on my childhood trauma. And that's the thing. That's the other thing that goes along with the diagnosis. If people in my life, my mom, my dad, my siblings, my adoptive family, if they have done horrendous things to me, put me in compromising positions, talk to me certain types of way, treat me a certain way, if I'm not able to heal and process with the people who are causing the trauma, what do you do with it? How are you supposed to heal yourself if you can't talk to the person that's doing the harming? How are you supposed to heal if you can't go to the outlet, the source of your trauma? So that's what I've been dealing with my whole life, with people doing stuff to me and then acting like I'm making the shit up in my head that it didn't happen, or like, oh, hush, 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 run it under the rug. We're not going to talk about that right now. Let's revisit it at another time. That shit catches up with you over time, yo. And so I've spent a lifetime of just suppressing things that happened to me or trying to go to the people or the outlet and like, no, I have to talk about something. Let's talk about it. But the people who are doing wrong and abuse, they don't want to talk about this shit, yo. And you're just left with like trying to figure out how to let it go. And sometimes you don't let it go because life keeps you busy with work and school and whatever other shit you have until God has to sit you down and you have to deal with it. You have to unpack it. So, but I already been working and writing and journaling and creating shit to let go of my trauma because I can't go to the people. They just don't want to deal with it. And that's what I'm saying. They just add on more addictions to their problems. And they give more people more problems because they haven't dealt with their shit. Hi, where are you? Hi, Taylor. I'm in Wilbraham right now. I gotta walk up here to the little corner store and then walk back over here to the farmer's market because there's a couple of things that I wanted to get. All right, we have another kangaroo in the building. I'm just gonna call anybody who comes on here with some negative shit kangaroo, and I have a whole kangaroo theory. If you ever want to hear it, I have no problem sharing it. But put some kangaroo emojis for trippy interactions. What kind of name is that, anyways? Welcome to our church foundation, caring for orphans and homelessness people in Uganda, Africa. Yeah, I love that. Let's connect. What is going on there? Do you need help? Are they threatening you? For a moment, I thought she was in Gaza. Looks wonderful. Okay, Taylor, I am not in Gaza. I am in Massachusetts. And no, thank you for asking, though. I really do appreciate that. I am reflecting. I come on and do a daily live every day, just reflecting on each day of this time last year. So all this stuff happened to me last year and leading up until March of this year. And it was a very traumatizing experience, and I wasn't able to talk about it. I wasn't able to talk about it to that man who did it to me. I wasn't able to talk about it to the therapist that I had. And then friends, family. I just learned that I don't have any friends. And, real friends. Well, I can't say that because I'm staying with a friend right now who's helping me get back on my feet and start my life over with my daughter. But I just learned who my real friends are. People that I was calling my friends are not my friends. And then I just really learned how low my family thinks about me. And for me, that's what I was just talking about, of letting go of your trauma, working it out and processing it. I have to talk about this shit because it bothers me every day still. Like now that's being a year since being locked up, I was called to just use my platform and talk about it. So that's what I show up every day, and I share what happened during the day of each day last year. So it's no longer in real time. It is just a reflection. It's just me reflecting and talking about it and having my own therapy session to those who want to tune in and listen and learn, and also to educate and answer any questions, because I learned going through this just how common this is for a lot of people, particularly women. A lot of women go through this, and I didn't know how common it was. So, hey, Miss Lady. Hey, Chris, how are you? Welcome, friends. You are awesome. Me and you, we're here, okay? I really do appreciate you and just your energy and your time, and thanks for showing up. We had a rough start, but I fucks with you. So welcome. Happy Wednesday. How's the weather where you're at? Abu, hi pretty. Thank you for the comment. You're so very kind, good human being. That's why I subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. You're from India. India checking in again. Well, from me, India. I appreciate India. Fucking with India. Checking in with me. Hi. Papa Rez. Hi. Lily, okay, I saw a vision that you had some bad trauma as a kid. I'm sorry about that as well. I pray you heal from that as well. Word up, yo. Thank you. And there's a quote that I like to say, which is, I pray. Actually, I made my mom like a puzzle, and that was the quote that I put on it, that I pray you heal from the things you don't talk about. There's a lot of people that will never heal because they are afraid to talk about it. They're afraid, they're embarrassed, they're worried about other people's opinions, and they're too busy trying to people please. And that's my point of doing this, is that stop worrying about that shit, because the more you try to worry about what people think about you and how they're going to judge you, the more you're going to live in lack. The more you're not going to live in your true purpose, and the more you're going to live in a prison trying to be a people pleaser. You're going to live in the prison of other people's minds of what they think, because you're speaking your mind and telling your truth, and they would never have the balls or audacity to do so. So thank you. Have you went to therapy? Yes. I went to therapy. I'm sorry if I'm out of breath. I'm like walking. We're going to go in the store. I went to therapy for 11 months. And it felt like jury duty every day. I don't know if you ever had to do jury duty, but I have. And jury duty is some shit that somebody signed you up for as a good cause. They thought it would be a good cause for you to go to jury duty and be a part of some shit that got no business with you. So that's how I felt. But I did go for 11 months and I spent, let's get something to drink, baby. I spent 6 months of them trying to like work on my relationship and understand what I just went through at the hands of this man, and writing him apology letters and not understanding why I'm apologizing. And I hated it. And then once the beginning of this year happened and I had to run for my life in the middle of the night with my kid, I was like, yo, you just played in my face. And I knew that I wasn't tripping about what was happening to me. So therapy was not helpful. I hated it. And right before the year, I quit. I was like, I'm done with therapy. Let me do my own fucking therapy. Because I would just talk and the lady wouldn't engage with me. She wouldn't talk. She wouldn't give me any feedback. So I was just like, I'm just coming here talking. This is not helpful. Like, this is therapy. Like, why do people rave about therapy? I didn't have a good experience. And then my last couple of months, I got a new therapist. It was the same exact thing. And then she was never there. She'd call out every week. And then it'd be a month before I seen her. And then I had to like catch up all the shit that happened to me in a month. You know what type of shit I just went through? I was just dealing with mad shit. So I tried it. I was seeing a vision of you and some stuff that I didn't want to say in the chat. I wouldn't want to do that to you, and I recommend getting in a really good church. Oh, well, let's have a private conversation. I love when people say that when they're in tune. So I would love to know like what you've seen, or just talk about it. Marcus Carter, you don't know me personally, just call me India. And no, you're fine. I'm in the way. And Warrior, India is a superpower. My name is India, so I'm a fucking superpower. I'm a magician. I'm a manifester. I'm all types of shit. So yeah, that was basically today. I just wanted to share with you like what they consider treatments. Oh, buy 2 get 1 free, but I don't want to buy 2 freaking Celsiuses, and they don't even have the flavor I like. Let me see if I can get something else to drink. So yeah, and then that was just it about my doctor telling me advising that I should take the medication, because she takes the same medication every day in order to be able to get up out her bed and come do her job. And somebody else would eat that shit up. I think that that's crazy. I think that that's crazy. I was like, you got me in here trying to convince me that something's wrong with my head and my brain, and you have to take medication and come in and do a fucking job, a very well high-paying job at that. So the job and the money, that's what I'm saying. When I was a nurse, if you're not in the field and dealing with the craziness and working around the sickness and seeing how that shit affects you as a person, it just sounds good and looks good to other people when they're like, oh, you get to be a nurse and you get to wear scrubs and you get to work in a hospital and you have a nice title and a good paying job. You're not in the environment. And that's why I left the field, because I'm like, I can no longer keep trying to do this to please my mom and to please my grandma and not disappoint them, and not be worried about the people who are like, oh, why'd you leave a good job? Because that shit's making me sick. I started having health issues working around death and sickness and all the types of politics and bullshit that goes on in the healthcare field. I could do a whole video. I had started a blog called The Hell in Healthcare. It was really popular, and then I started doing all my business stuff. And I digressed from that. Leave it. I digressed from that, but it was really popular. And there's a lot of people, if you work in the healthcare field, that understand what the hell I was talking about. Great Rye says is pretty crazy, pretty good intuition. Thank you, and thank you for joining. Yeah, therapy is boring, to be honest. I'd rather talk to a close person about issues because therapists are so dry. And yes, I would love to have a conversation one day. Thank you. Yeah, let's connect. And yeah, I agree with you. It was boring. And I was just like, why am I talking to a person that's getting paid to not give me any fucking help? You're not helping me. So I did it for as long as I could stomach it, 11 months. And honestly, I'm proud of myself because I didn't want to go at all. And I didn't necessarily have to go because he wasn't able to commit me to the hospital, which he was trying to do. You're trying to commit me here for 6 fucking months. I will kill you with my bare fucking hands, yo. So good thing I used my brain that he tried to say was broken and got the fuck up out of there. So I didn't really necessarily have to go to therapy. I chose to because I wanted to really work on my relationship and try to understand, like, well, if you're saying that is wrong with me, like, I'm willing to work on it for you. Keep submitting and keep trying to show up for somebody who's trying to damage and harm me. No. And who honestly has his own issues and he needs the help and he needs to work on shit. And that's what I started to realize. Like, I've been in a relationship for 10 years with somebody that hasn't worked on anything that I asked them to for himself, for me, and for his kid or his other kids. So who's the person that has the real problem? You. All right. But yes, let's connect. Was casually scrolling on YouTube and saw you, and God just told me to stop and stay on here, to be honest. Look at that, yo. I always pay attention to signs from God. God shows me signs every day. I want to connect with you, Lily. Where are you from? Definitely let's talk, have a private chat. Or maybe we could even have, like, I'm not afraid to talk about anything out loud. So maybe we could do a collaboration here and talk. That would be good too. Especially if God told you. God connects people for a reason. God connected me to my friend that I'm staying with, which is ironic because I met her in nursing. We used to work as nurses together, and she came and rescued me in the middle of the night, and it's quite the story to tell. Therapy just made me depressed, says Remy. Yep, it started to make me depressed, and I was like, damn, here's a person. Oh, you need your straw, boo? I'm like, here's a person who's trying to say that I'm depressed when I wasn't. And then I went through all that and I was like, damn, now I am waking up feeling sad, and now I am waking up questioning like my mental health. And I had to literally start asking myself that every day, like, damn, India, how's your mental health today? Are you feeling crazy, or are you feeling, how are you feeling? And I was like, I never had to do this shit before. Oh, this motherfucker's playing with my head. I think I'm just gonna get a water because I literally can't. Oh, I'm gonna get a drink from that lady. That's what I'm gonna do, but I still should get a water. Can you leave those things alone? So I'm sorry that I made you depressed, and I'm glad that you were able to tap in and see that and hopefully get some real help for yourself. Honestly, you can help yourself through personally developing reading. Reading is good for your brain and it introduces you to new things, new people, different subject matters to be able to have a conversation with other people. Personally developing, because of technology and your phones, there's so many different ways that you can help yourself, yo. And that's always my message about turning your life into a lifestyle. You don't need permission. You don't need to get a permission slip for anybody to take control of your life, to participate in your own rescue and save yourself and live the life that God wants you to live for yourself. Not what society says, not what your parents want you to do, not what school tries to condition you to do. Figure out what the fuck you want to do. Tap into yourself more and out of the world less. And it's like we're so programmed that we have to deal with things outside of ourselves that you never tap in tune with yourself to figure out your real purpose. That's why people struggle. Bruno, welcome from Bruno. Greetings from Italy. Shouts out to Italy. Dag, I be feeling so great when you guys are sharing where you're from, because I haven't been to none of these places, and it shows me that I have not traveled enough in my lifetime. I'm gonna get this one so me and my baby could drink it. Sit back, boo. Oh, I do have you another one. Sit back, lovey. So shouts out to Italy. And let me see what you said. I think therapists are good for some people. Some people don't work well with them. And if you have to find one that fits for you, some don't work with therapists well. So it's just on the individual. Well, no, I tried my best to work on them, with them. And I just don't think it was a good vibe, because the first therapist that I had, she was okay. She did give me, the one thing I took from her was really understanding about bipolar and like what it was. And then she told me about ants, which ants is anticipating negative thoughts. And there was like a whole exercise that she did with me to like help me understand that. Other than that, she just stared at me and talked to me about plants. We had a conversation about her plants. She would get a new plant every week. And other than that, she just stared at me. And then the second lady I was never able to really build a rapport with her because she called out all the time. So I was like, what the hell? I'm supposed to wait until you're available to tell you all the craziness that's going on in my life, and then I only have an hour. I can't tell you all the stuff I just experienced in an hour because it's been 4 weeks. So yeah, it was a lot, yo. Am I able to get cash back? Oh, okay, good to know. Thank you. Can I have it back, please? My love, can you sit back? Sit back and stop. Thank you. Crap, sorry. Oh, I got some fire sunglasses. So yeah. So there are people that said that, like, I have a cousin and I told her I was gonna quit therapy, and so she got so mad at me. She was like, how dare you, therapy saved my life. And I'm like, well, that's your story. It didn't save mine. It's just stressing me out and causing me to be fucking sad every week. So everybody's experience is different. I work in psyching, as some of the people that work there are very not fond of people's feelings and are rude. Tell me about it. Am I able to put this in here? Because why did you just tell me that? We'll see. That'll be pretty dope if I can. You don't overcome trauma by dwelling in it. Nobody's dwelling in it. That's why I said I'm reflecting, not reminiscing. If I was reminiscing in it, and that would be something totally different. I'm reflecting on it and I'm sharing my story. This has been going on. So if I hold it in and just think about it in my head every fucking day, that's going to do more harm. And I'm helping myself. Would you like your available? Yes. Yes. What is this? I might not be able to do this. There is no receipts. Why did this just play games with me? You're from Mississippi? Okay, I've been to Mississippi before. Hi, Diva, says Jenny. Hi, Gracie Williams. Hi, Zelda, with 2 swords and 1 shield. Hi. I'm getting ready to wrap up today's India talk. Thank you guys for tuning in with me so much. Thank you for the feedback. Lily, I would like to connect with you. Also, the church people who wanted to connect with me. Let's connect and hook up and collaborate. I would love to do that. And as far as anyone else, I hope that you guys have a great day. I'm going to leave you guys with my 3 messages that I always leave you with, which is... Hi Marcus, welcome. How can we all contact you? I'm still learning about YouTube, so I thought that you could, is YouTube like Instagram and Facebook, or you could just send me a private message. I'm not gonna give you, I'm not gonna shout my number out or nothing on here. Main menu. Hold on, baby. I'm just gonna sit back, boo. Terminal will charge you a $3.50 fee. Ay. Marcus, your message is retracted. Where am I from, Anthony? Oh, sorry. I could not multitask and talk. I am from Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts. Why do they tell me that I cannot take it off? I have to ask this chick. Sorry. Oh yeah, go right ahead. You're welcome. You're from okay, you're from Kansas City. Okay, we got Missouri and Mississippi on. Welcome. Lily, we are related. Oh, okay. Happy to hear that for y'all. This ATM is not giving you no receipts. That's crazy. Anywho, you're from Miami, Florida. Oh, you're talking to Lily? Oh, you moved from Charlotte, North Carolina. Good for you. That's one place I would never move to. None of the Carolinas, because that's where all my family lives. Most of them. Hold on, I got OCD. I gotta double check before I walk over here to this farmer's market. But yeah, Lily, let's connect. And Marcus, thank you for joining. Thank you for everybody that got on a little late. I'm about to get off because I gotta walk back over here to this farmer's market and then get some stuff for my daughter before we go back to the house. But my messages to you are, as always, don't let anybody label you, because those who want to label you want you to live in lack, not purpose, not your purpose. Damn, I should go out the automatic door. Those who want to label you want you to live in lack and not in your true purpose. And they see something in you that they don't want you to see in yourselves. So they try to label you so that you'll live by the label and not by your purpose. Don't let anybody put you in a box. Because those who try to put you in a box is simply because they can't get out of theirs. And as always, don't forget to turn your life into a lifestyle. Okay? Welcome back, JR Graza. I'm about to hop off. Don't forget to turn your life into a lifestyle. And the way that you are able to do that is by saving yourself, participating in your own rescue so that you don't live up to the standards of society. You don't live up to the person that your parents want you to be, and you don't live up to the identity or the title that school wants you to subscribe to. Living your life and turning it into a lifestyle will allow you to live the life that God wants you to live in. It will allow you to find your purpose. It will allow you to free yourself and save yourself and live, not just exist. You were not born to simply work whatever job and pay bills and die. You were born to live your life and live to your fullest potential, really past your potential. And you're here to make a difference and make a change in the world. And you'll only be able to do that if you tap into yourself more and out of the world less. So those are my messages. Thank you, Marcus. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate y'all rocking out with me. When I said I was going to start doing this series, I didn't really think I would get any engagement. I didn't think people would be watching me like this or tapping in or I'd be on here this long. I thought I'd be on for like a few minutes, just share and get off. But I'm glad that y'all rock with me. And this is absolutely therapeutic for me. This is way better than going to a therapy session once a week. I could get on every day and talk about this shit that I went through, that I suffered through, that I survived through. And that's always my message to you, that nothing you suffer through and survive through goes wasted. It will always be used for your purpose. And then you'll be able to repurpose for other people and help them condense time and help them get through something similar much faster, much quicker, because of your story and you surviving the test and you sharing your testimony. So never be afraid to share what you went through, what you've suffered through, what you've survived through, because you never know who needs to hear it. You never know what people are going through. Remember to be kind and spread love, light, and positivity, because it's so easy to spread negativity. You can find that shit everywhere. But bless up Jamal. Thank you Marcus, you're awesome. Salute to the host modes and all in the chat. Double tap the screen on the way in. Share and subscribe is free. Come on, Jamal, I love that. You're awesome. All right, do you guys have any more questions for me? Any more comments, any more feedbacks before I wrap it up? And I gotta get to the store. I gotta find some tooth fairy stuff to get for my daughter. She lost her first tooth last night. I'm so excited. I want to celebrate her and her milestone. And I have to do it in an alternative way because, I have a amazing daughter, and we just have to do things the non-traditional way, which is great for me because I don't like anything about tradition or normal or standards or routine. I like to do shit my way, and I like to be different than the average person. There's nothing average about me or my kid. So God bless you. Are blessed to be a blessing. Absolutely. Likewise to you, my friends. So I hope that the weather's nice. I hope that you get out, get some fresh air. I hope that you enjoy the sunshine. I hope that you keep a smile on your face. Don't let anybody siphon your energy. Don't let anybody try to put you in a box. That is my fucking lesson every day, yo. Don't let nobody put you in a box. Don't let nobody try to put you in a ditch. Don't let nobody try to kill your vibe. Don't let nobody try to change your perspective, your persona, your characteristics. If they don't like them, you already know what I'm going to say. Hi, Maris and Isla. Thank you. Yes, I do remember you. It was 2 of y'all, twins. I am still hopeful and grateful that God will allow me to have my twins. Because I said I'm going to have twins. Twins run in my family, and nobody has had twins in a long time. And so I don't know if God will bless me with more kids. I really do want to have twins. I said I was going to have twins, a girl and a boy. So we'll see. I'm getting up there. So I don't really know if that is in my destiny, but I do hope so. It's written in my journal that I talk to God in. Are you one of those? All right, not responding. There's a kangaroo in the chat. Yo, if you come on my live and you start being negative or saying sexually inappropriate or stupid shit that don't make no sense, I'm going to call you a fucking kangaroo. So JT, the kangaroo, has entered the chat. Be in a box when you want to. Says extra Mia. Hell no. I don't want to be in no box. Nobody's box. I don't want to be in no kind of box. Like, that's why I don't like working in offices and shit. I want to be in a cubicle. I don't want to work in a box. I don't want to live in a box. That man put me in a physical box because those beds in that hospital were coffins. I wish I had my phone in there. I would have taken so many pictures. It was literally a coffin. It was like a wooden, it looked just like a coffin. It was wood. And then there was a little thin mattress on the top of it. And that was your bed. And I was like, this motherfucker got me sleeping in a coffin. He put me in a box. You locked me up in a box, and then you have me sleeping in a box. Hell no. And when it's my time to go, don't put me in no casket. Yo, I don't want to be in no box, alive or dead. Don't put me in a box. And I will never put myself in a box. I don't like to be restricted. I am a Sagittarius. Freedom is so important to me. It's more important than money. I am not a materialistic person. I don't give a fuck about money. Yes, you need money. It ranks right up there with oxygen. You need it to survive. I do understand that, but like, money doesn't impress me. That's why I was just with this man. Money doesn't impress me. Materialistic things don't impress me. What's important to me is time and freedom. If you restrict my freedom and if you fucking play with my time, I will become very ferocious. I will get pissed. So I like to be free. I'm a very free spirit. I like to have all my time. And so God has blessed me with time freedom. And he's going to bless me with financial freedom. But I'll take the time freedom. I've been time freedom for 5 years now. I have not punched nobody's clock. I have not missed a milestone in my daughter's life. Nobody could tell me about a word she said, a thing that she did. I have seen everything. And that's things money cannot buy. And that's what I want people to understand, that there's so many things that money can't buy that's more to value and to cherish. So I do understand what you were saying, though, extra Mia. All right, I made it back to the farmers market. I have to focus and talk to these people. So with that being said, you can see, with that being said, I hope that you guys have an amazing day. And like I always said, don't forget to turn your life into a lifestyle. And tune in tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. I think I have a journal entry to read with you tomorrow. Hi, I'm back. So I'll share that and pop some more shit tomorrow with you all. Thank you. The kangaroo. Damn, not gonna respond to you, kangaroo. And Lily, have a good day. Send me a message. We'll figure it out. Okay? Until then, peace.